Hello friends, welcome back to the Python programming session. In the earlier session, we had seen the geometry manager methods, that is the pack method, the grid method and the place method. These three methods helped us to place the widget onto the screen at a particular position. And today let's move ahead with the various widgets which are available in Tkinter. In today's session, let's cover the label widget. The label widget is one of the most important widget in Tkinter. The label widget is used for displaying a text or an image onto the Tkinter screen. The syntax for the label widget is it is the variable, label1 is the variable and label is the method, built-in method in Tkinter. In the first parameter should be the window where we want to position the label, and the second is the options. There are various options available for the label widget. Some of them I have specified over here. The first one is BG, that is the background color for the label. BD, border around the label, border width around the label. Cursor. Cursor specifies the mouse cursor appearance when the mouse hovers over the widget. So whenever we hover the cursor onto our label widget, here I am considering label widget. So whenever I move my mouse over to the label widget, it its appearance changes to the cursor option present in the label widget. If we specify dot, the cursor becomes a dot. If we specify arrow, the cursor becomes an arrow. So this is the cursor parameter in the label widget. Then we have font, which specifies the font style for displaying the text. We can use various fonts and font types and font sizes can be specified. FG specifies the color of the text, or it's the foreground color or the color of the text. Image. Image specifies an image which needs to be added onto the Tkinter screen. Relief creates an effect for the label. So there are various options available. That the flat, raised, sunken, groove and then ridge. Then we have text which specifies the text which has to be shown on the label widget. Then we have a text variable, which is a variable which stores the text displayed on the label. So with the help of code examples, let's see how it works. So firstly, let's look into one of the code example. So this is from Tkinter. I'm importing all. Then I'm having my main window. Then let me create my label one equal to label. It should be placed in the main window. So I'll say it as win, comma, and the various options which I'm providing here is text equal to label 1. So I want the text equal to label 1. On this particular label, I want this particular text. So with the text parameter, we can specify what value we want to make, what value we want to print on this particular label. So I'm giving it as label 1. Now we have to pack this particular label. So label 1 dot pack. Now when I run my code, I get my label saying label 1 and which is packed to the top. Because I have not specified any side, it is on the top. Its default value is it is packing the widget onto the top of the Tkinter screen. And the text is label hyphen 1. So I'm getting label hyphen 1 as the text for this particular label. Now let's move ahead with another label. Let's add another label, label 2 equal to label, place it in the main window. Let me close this. Place it in the main window and text is labeled to, font is Arial and then 20. Font type is Arial, size is 20. So text for this is equal to label to font equal to, in the tuple format we have to specify the font type, Arial, and the size. I give it as 20. Now I have to place it on the main window. So let me say label 2 dot pack. Now when I run this particular code, I get my label 2. Its size has increased because I'm saying it as 20. The font size has increased to 20 and it is of Arial. So it is of Arial font type and size is 20, and the text on this particular label is label hyphen 2. So label hyphen 2 is the text on this particular label. Even this is relatively packed to the top, just below the first label, because we have not specified any side. So by default it will take top as the side for this particular label widget as well. And now let's add another label widget called label 3 equal to label. Place it in the main window. Text for this is equal to label hyphen 3. Let me close this window. Label hyphen 3, and then background color is pink, foreground color is black, border width is 5, relief is sunken. So BG background color equal to pink, we have to give it in quotes, comma, foreground color equal to black, again in quotes, comma, BD equal to width is equal to 5 and relief equal to sunken. It is the effect. Relief is nothing but the effect of the effect which we are giving for that particular label. So now let me place it on my main window, label 3 dot pack. Now let me run this particular code. So I get my label 3 widget which is sunken. This is the effect we are giving to this particular label. It is inside, so it is sunken inside. And the text for this label is label hyphen 3. Background color is pink. Foreground is nothing but the text color which is black. Border width is 5. So we have increased the border width for this particular label. So using these parameters, that is background, border, width, cursor, font, FG, image, relief, text variable, we can add some, we can give some values to these particular parameters and it will be reflected on the particular label widget. So now in this particular code we saw how we can add the text onto the label. Here text was label and hyphen 1, text was label 2, and text was label 3. Now let's see how we can add an image to the label. Let's see how we can add an image to the label. So from Tkinter import star all win equal to tk win dot main loop. Okay, now let's see how we can add image to the label widget. So for this, let me go to the code. Firstly, let me create with the geometry the length and width of the frame in pixels. So let me give win.geometry. So it is having 600 pixels length and height as well as 600 pixels. And let me create my frame widget so that I can place the image onto my frame. So let me say frame1 equal to frame, place it in the main window, comma width equal to 500, height equal to 400, width equal to say 500, height equal to 400. So this is the width and height of my frame widget. Now I have to place my frame widget. So frame1 dot place, I'm using the place geometry manager, and then I'm saying anchor equal to center so that it will be placed in the center, and relative x position is equal to a floating number which is 0.5, and relative y position is equal to 0.5. So it will be placed in the middle. This particular frame widget will be placed in the middle. Now for the image, I have to use photo image built-in method in Tkinter, and I have to specify the path of the file where the file is present. So let me give a variable called photo equal to photo image. Photo image is a built-in method. So this is a built-in method, and I say file equal to the path of the path where the image is stored. So it is stored in autumn. It is nothing but autumn.png. So it is stored in my default directory, and the file name is autumn.png. Now I have to create a label widget. Let me say image underscore label is equal to label. Place it in the frame. I'm placing this particular label widget onto the frame, not the main window. So let me give it as frame1. I want to place the label widget onto the frame, comma image equal to photo, and I want the text equal to scenery, and compound equal to bottom. So I want the text for this particular image as scenery, and image is nothing but photo, which is nothing but autumn.png, which is in my default directory. Now I want to place this label widget. So let me give image underscore label dot pack. So image underscore label dot pack. The label widget should be placed in the frame widget. Text is scenery. Sorry, let me give scenery, and compound equal to bottom. So now when I run this particular code, this is the image which was autumn.png. So this was the image which I had stored in my default directory, and this image has been displayed on my label widget, and the text is nothing but scenery, which is on the top. Because image is at the bottom, so text is coming at the top. So, and the file is nothing but autumn.png, which was in my default directory, and this particular image I'm fetching with the help of photo image, and then I'm placing it on my label widget. The label widget is on the frame widget. So I'm displaying the image onto my label widget, which in turn is present in the frame widget. So this is how the image gets displayed on the label. In the previous example, we saw how the text was displayed on the label. In the second code example, we saw how an image is being displayed onto the label. So, with the help of label widget, we can display text or image. So let's move ahead. So Tkinter label widget is mainly used for displaying a text or image onto the screen. So this you understood, I think so, with the help of the code example. In the first code example, we displayed the text, and in the second code example, we displayed the image. So with these two examples, I hope so it is clear for you, and we saw the different options: background color, border width, cursor, font, FG, image, relief, text and text variable. Hope so friends, the label widget is clear for you. If you have any doubts, please do reach to me out in the comment section. If you like my video, click on the like button and please do subscribe to get notifications of my new videos. Till then, see you. Bye bye.